Hello again, thanks for tuning in. The Chagos Island debacle continues to roll on. And like most people in this country, we have a very, very limited understanding of what's going on. I'm no different to anybody else. But it's very, very strange, isn't it? Very strange. The whole thing. Now it appears that there's been complications regarding the money laundering probe into the Mauritian Prime Minister, or the former Mauritian Prime Minister, who masterminded the deal. He's now being interrogated in a money laundering scandal. It appears like he's had his home raided, and there's been suitcases found stuffed with tens of thousands in cash in a dozen countries, and Rolex and Cartier watches and UK visas also. He denies those items are his, aside from the fact that they were found in his house. And of course this has raised more scepticism and more issues about this Chagos Island debacle. So what's actually going on here? It's very, very difficult to tell what's happening with this. For some reason, Labour seem intent on getting this deal pushed through, to the consternation of everybody. It seems like the Americans are unhappy with it. It appears like the people of this country are unhappy with it. It appears like David Lammy and Kier Starmer are desperate to get this deal done. In a exchange on Prime Minister's questions, this question was discussed and brought up by Kemi Badenoch. And immediately upon it being brought up, you could see Kier Starmer's brain flicking to lawyer mode and talking about the brief and talking down to people, and not realising, of course, that the people of this country look at that and just see him acting like a lawyer. The man is not a leader. He doesn't know how to lead. He's a lawyer. He cannot shake the lawyer framework that he sees the world in. Everything to him is a brief to be looked at and dissected and probed, and then a decision pops out the other end, as if it's some kind of computational machine where the lawyer spews out at the end what's going to happen. And he doesn't seem to realise that this has a very, very bad look. There's a picture here of him shaking the hand of this, what would appear to be a fraudster, a money launderer, who was this former Prime Minister of Mauritius. And it's becoming a bit of a thorn in the government's side for no reason whatsoever. It's a problem like so many of Labour's problems of their own making. On the other side of the argument, you've got Priti Patel saying this is a monumental failure of statecraft, and I think that puts it quite well. Nigel Farage said that the US president and their team have a very, very deep disquiet about this, given their issues with China. You've also, of course, got the issue now where there was originally a settlement put forward, and now there appears to be more money on the table, billions and billions and billions of pounds. More money, in fact, again, to revisit the winter fuel payments. What's actually going on with this? Why do Labour continue to make these unforced errors? It's just making them look like a bunch of amateurs. It's another reason why they should just abandon this. Let's go back to how it was. The Labour Party's position, of course, was, the Tories before us, they'd started these negotiations and we're just going to finish them. But there's no reason to finish them. The people that put the name, the signature on the deal are the people who was responsible for the deal. In this way, Kier Starmer's attempt to wash his hands of the deal in a way and say, well, we're just finishing up what was previously started. And that's not the case. They are doing this deal. They are responsible for this deal. And I'm sure it's very popular amongst the dinner party set where David Lammy gets to make outrageous claims about how brilliant they are at giving people back their territory with that colonial mindset, that isn't Britain a bad country with our terrible past mindset? Aren't we embarrassed about everything that we've done? And isn't Labour trying to put this right? Aren't we the ones that are giving stuff back to the people? The people of Mauritius. Now, you've got people like Robert Jenrick who says, the Mauritian Prime Minister has been interrogated over suspected money laundering in his own country, just as he tries to con Britain out of our sovereign territory. And this is true. At the moment, the Chagos Islands is sovereign territory. It is our territory. No one's really bothered about the islands. It's strictly a military base which the Americans want to use. So, if anything, surely it would be easier just to give it to the Americans. And in fact, why even bother giving it to the Americans? Why not just say, look, we'll revisit this in a decade. We'll just kick this into the long grass. But it seems as if over the past 2 or 3 months that Labour are desperate to get this done. They're desperate to finish this off. And it's just another example. The Labour Party themselves, who are in power, are incapable of doing politics. They're incapable of gaining respect on the world stage. And these unforced errors, they just come thick and fast. And at some point, Kier Starmer is going to pay the price for it. And I hope he does. He's an incompetent leader and he's making Britain look stupid on the world stage. Thanks for your time.